we're gonna talk about today why Leo Whitefang is top tier. I will say this character has been the bane of my existence in this game. So, the last character we talked about was Nagoriyuki. And Nagoriyuki was considered weak, but ended up becoming really strong over like changes. People were just like, man, this character has to like bust his ass, whatever. Leo, on the other hand, has been basically considered really strong since the game came out. As usual, let's start with weaknesses because no character is perfect. So Leo weaknesses. So he cannot run. He has a step dash. So he's this little dash that he does. So this means he's not like as mobile. Amelia, you know, she has a run. She's super fast. Just tick, 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 tick. Where Leo cannot do this. He is not good at dashing at you quickly. His other main issue, and this one might get people a little annoyed, his main way of mixing you up is very interactable compared to other mix-up characters. So while he's able to loop his mix-ups over and over, unlike Amelia has this. Once this happens, you're fucked, right? The opponent can't really do that much. When this happens, there's actually a bunch of things the opponent can do depending on the character they play, resources, things like that. So you do need to really structure your offense and learn how to deal with everything. And you can have the case, as we've been talking about on stream a lot today, he loses from his own offense. That can happen. Those are his two big weaknesses in my opinion. Okay. However, strengths. He is pretty strong in a pretty direct way, unlike Nago. We're used to Nago now, so it's like, oh yeah, he's super juiced, he just whiff, blah, blah. That took a little while for people to figure out, where Leo is pretty well-rounded. From a system perspective, everything's standard, so he's heavy, so you have to adjust your combos. So this combo is very annoying to do because he's heavy. In this version, it's easier. Just a pinch. But I still missed it. Doing it the way that's supposed to make it easier, I still missed it. So being heavy helps him kind of just get off combo stuff, which is pretty nice. His ID is standard. A lot of his things are just like standard or average. I won't touch on HP as much as I did with Nago, because Nago, you know, he has more HP than fucking Potemkin, even though it's only one, but he just has more. Leo does have a lot of life compared to other characters. If I compared my corner combo, it's my standard corner combo with Amelia. Okay, it's 211. So same combo to Kyle. Kyle is like your standard. Okay. Leo's HP is 548, so that damage difference like really small. Like he is not in the top tier of HP, but he has plenty of HP to work with, right? More importantly, we need to go back to one of his weaknesses while we're talking about one of his strengths, which is mobility. Quick review, he can't run, but there are good things about this. So there's two good things about this. One is that he's able to act incredibly fast out of his dash. They actually buffed Geo, to my memory, they buffed Geo to be like Leo. So Leo, even though he can't like get very far, he can attack frame 2 out of his dash. So he gets this. The other good thing is that he has a lot of moves that like lunge towards you, right? So here's his dash, and here's his 5k, okay? If you combine him having lunging moves and him having being able to activate his dash very quickly, so this is normal 5k, this is dash 5k. Look how much farther he goes, okay? Despite not being able to run, he is able to basically burst at you, right? And he has a bunch of moves that enable this. He has this, right? So he has, look how much further that goes, right? He has sweep, so he's able to attack very far. He also, on top of these many lunging moves, he also is able to act instantly with things where he does not come at you. This is incredibly fast. He's very vulnerable doing this. If for some reason you read this, it is sad times for him, but it's very strong, and it reaches really far. Another thing to consider is, despite him not having a run, the typical defensive character in this game, their big pokes tend to be disadvantaged. And not like kind of disadvantaged, they tend to be like really disadvantaged. Lord Axel, pretty standard ground pokes. If you're not like protecting yourself at point blank for like 5k and 2k, then you have Far Slash and 2H, right? These are big buttons. Now, there's a couple problems with these buttons. One is you don't have a level option. So a Far Slash, you have Far Slash 2H, you have Far Slash 5H, but at max Far Slash range, 5H is going to whiff, right? Off 2H, you only have special cancels. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is the huge one, in which the frame data is trash. So, there you go. Okay, so this move is minus 18, and Far Slash is minus 8. Leo players will do this. This is dash block to pull up on you while you're trying to protect yourself with your long range moves, but they're negative. So what ends up happening, you're trying to do this, right? And he just does not care, and now he's in your face. 2H is even more of a struggle because you basically have to special cancel. This is like minus 20 something, and this, while plus, and it's actually pretty good against Leo, characters have different responses to it, and it moves backwards, so you corner yourself gradually while Leo's just dashing until he's at his ideal range, which is around like here, and you can gamble with all sorts of stuff. Then you have this, the guard point. So this is like this is so good for neutral. This move basically takes some characters out of the game. Like Soul cannot fight this. He cannot fight this. So specifically, we're going to be talking about 5H and guard point together because you don't really use Far Slash in a lot of matchups with Leo. 5H is disjoint. It's very big. The main thing is this move hits pretty low, and if it whiffs, you have the guard point. He actually has a pretty good walk speed here. That on whiff, you get to do this. Many characters don't have long range lows to fight. Many characters don't. And you have this follow-up, which has no recovery, and it's 0 on block. So you can use this move to just play footsies for you, especially against standard mid-range characters. There is counterplay to it, but it's really, really hard to deal with. If you can't deal with 5H, the matchup's probably bad. That's like, honestly. One of Millia's biggest problems in this matchup is she cannot fight this. One of Soul's biggest problems in this matchup is that they can't fight this. This move is matchup defining. This leads to another thing, which is his offense. Leo has a couple of unique things on his standard offense that involves a bunch of stuff we discussed already. So one, he has lunging moves. So why does this matter? This means that FD does not do as much compared to other characters because a lot of his moves advance. 5k being the main one, but you have like 5k, 6k, you have like 6h, he has a lot of moves that pull up. Even with meter, you have like this, you have things that just move forward, so it's harder to push him away using standard methods. Then he has a unique Gatling chart on his slash moves compared to other characters, where he has buttons that go into each other and they loop, right? The main ones being this, and this. Very, very often, especially if the opponent isn't good at fighting this character, they do this quite a bit. Okay. The main reason why this is a problem is this builds a ton of risk, and you have to basically use meter to get him off you so he doesn't do this. So your opponent has to stay on top of this. You have to be extra cautious while you're blocking him, which leads me to his throw. So his throw leads into his win condition. Soul knows what's up. He just wants to get the fuck out of this. So throw leads to his win condition, which is back turn. So back turn is really, really, really strong. So he can't block in his stance, but he has chaining low. He has instant overhead. He can walk through you, dash through you, I should say. Dash through you. Dash cancel on this. Okay, so he has a guard crush, which if you block this, he will literally just mix you, and he can stay in the guard crush, the back turn stance by holding the button. So he gets a mix up off this. This is really good. He has a command grab for when he has 50 meter. It's very strong when he has meter, and he can parry as well. And the parry is quite fast, and he has good walk speed, and he can dash around back and forth, and he has good walk speed in this too. And he has all his special moves. So he has this. This stance, the Brain Healer stance, is the main thing that people talk about when he's strong, because this is where he snowballs, right? One little throw into like a simple left right. At higher levels of play, people have a bunch of defensive counterplay to this character, but it does all require reads, and it really depends on what character you're playing, what you're doing. Like, how's your backdash? How's your return from mashing? Do you have a good reversal or not? So in the end, even developed, like you learn how to defend the stance, you can still just lose to him being in Brynhilder. Then we have to talk about him with resource, because one thing about Leo is when you think about his resource, and this is why I actually tried to play Durag against him for a long time. So if you think about him, his main obvious weakness is that his mobility is not great. His more subtle weakness is that there's a lot of defensive counterplay, which can lead to him losing from his offense. So a lot of characters, even though I discussed like this move and this move, like defensive characters tend to have pokes that are really disadvantageous. You can still do a good job of keeping him out for a while, but since he has good HP and he's constantly dashing at you, eventually he's going to get a ton of meter. Once he has meter, he is way stronger, because now you have to worry about this. So you have to worry about this, which is strong. You have to worry about this. So from here, you have to worry about this now. There's a lot of things that you could do from a pretty far range. You could lunge and instantly do it and cover yourself with meter. Not only does it make his neutral stronger, I won't even say it totally makes his offense stronger besides making throw safer, because you have to throw PRC. But it also makes his defense stronger, which is probably what you've been waiting for. He has special moves that are charged, so this fireball is a charge, and his reversal is also a charge. So because of this, he has an easy reversal input, because all you have to do is tap up and a button, slash or heavy slash, and you get your reversal. If you get hit by this, it is win condition time. It is win condition time off this. This is hyper pain, because he gets that from defense. There it is. But with meter, you have to worry about him 50-50 you if you block it. So it's really hard to keep your offense on him. A lot of characters, either they just gamble straight up, which if you're wrong, he's going to get his win condition like we saw before. Or your other option is to just peel off and go back to neutral, which is a very strong thing, which means he doesn't have to worry about offense, because this game has a lot of strong offense. Very few characters in this game that can attack safely. A good example would actually be Testament, because Testament is a rare character in this game where they can attack and mix up Leo from a safe distance, where DP, the flash kick, is not a factor, especially if Stain is in play. If Stain is in play, now Leo has to worry about like this or this, and then rather than pulling up, you just do it from here and you're chilling, right? And if you hit him, cool. If you don't hit him, also cool. But not a lot of characters are good at doing this. Many characters in this game are balanced around being slightly negative. It's a very common thing. So like Geo, for example, Geo is a pressure monster. Yes, she has a plus unblock close slash, it's +3, but many things that she does is negative, and you're mostly relying on space and damage threat to enforce your offense. For a character with a reversal this strong, a meter reversal especially this strong, it's really hard to keep that offense. You're staying here constantly or retreating. So in the end, what this means is that Leo gets to go ham on offense and threaten a lot on offense. He gets to go ham in neutral and threaten a lot in neutral. He gets to go ham on defense and threaten a lot on defense. So it's in every core phase of the game. In my opinion, there's technically 4 phases of the game, right? There is neutral, there's defense, there's block string offense, so it's this, and then there's knockdown. So he's strong in every single phase of the game, and that's why Leo is top tier. I don't think I missed anything. If I made a mistake or two, that's my bad. I played Amelia versus character a lot, and it is absolute pain.